So hi, I'm Peter Sanderson in Russell, Ontario, and today we're going to change headlights, high beams to these new H7 Philip Extreme Vision Moto. So why are we going to do this work on perfectly good headlights? Well, a funny story. When I installed my LED lights, all four of them, two basically high beam kind of lights, road lights, and then two wide angle lights, I thought everything was great, and I'd ride at night and I saw everything in the country roads, and my lighting was perfect with the high tech. I could flick and it would flash 3 times to show when I passed. All of that was fantastic, right? Until recently, I lent my bike to a friend to ride, and I was in front of him. And when I looked in the rearview mirror, guess what I saw for the first time, really? I noticed that my headlights have a kind of a orangey yellow tint, and my 4 lights on the bottom are a nice bright white. Well, I'm guilty. I'm OCD, and once I saw it, it kind of started to bother me, you know, this yellow light and these white lights. So I searched around, and I couldn't put the headlight as an LED light. So I found what's next best is these H7 vibration resistant Philips Extreme Vision, which are supposed to have a higher white. So have a look at what it looks now. This is the picture of my motorcycle currently, and you can see the yellow lights. So now, I printed out from my BMW user repair manual 4 pages, and I'm going to post them up. So feel free to just pause, do a screen capture if you want, and then print it out, or just mark down the information you need. So the first one is the tightening torques, and there's really only 2 different sets of bolts that need to be tightened at the end. The next is replacing the headlights. So this will tell us how to remove the headlight housing and then take it apart and get to the actual headlights. And then we have the replace the bulb for a headlight. So that's very good. And finally, if you want to go one step further, we have a adjust headlight calibration procedure. So let's get started with that. So what the whole point of it is to change the headlight and the high beams so that they'll have the same light color, the same color temperature, so that when you're looking at it during the day or at night, it's like it's going to be really nice, like 2 white lights down here, 1 white light on top. Because before you start the bike, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's mine anyways. I have the deluxe headlight kit. So mine has a set of LEDs on the side that light up, and they're white. So it goes with my lights on the bottom. It's the minute you start the bike that you get this orangey headlight. And I guess, you know, I never should have lent my bike and looked at it, and I would have never known. But now that I know, I have to fix it. So it's a good exercise. You should have a spare light bulb, and you should have the Torx screwdrivers that you need, or some type of tool to remove the headlight and then put it, change it. Because if you're on the road somewhere and your headlight goes out, what are you going to do? So it's an easy job. It shouldn't take long. I don't expect it to be difficult. And it is something you could do at the side of the road or at the hotel. When you stop, change the light bulb. So let's go ahead and do it. So the first thing we're going to do is remove this one here, and there's an identical one on the other side, and that is using a Torx T40. And we'll just get in there. So just loosen it up. There we go. Just going to go get a magnet. Pull this out. There we go. And then we remove this, and you'll notice there's a plug right here. So we have to remove this plug. Like that. And now you have the headlight unit in your hands. And what I've done is I've got on the bench a towel. So let's put it down over there. Okay, so now that we've got it on something nice like a towel, okay, we can just pull this off. Comes off. And as you can see, we have the light bulbs in there. So we're going to need a small Torx, it looks like, to unscrew. And I'm going to zoom in on this. Okay, so I'm going to use a T20. And basically what we're going to do is undo these two screws that hold this thing in place here. One. Be careful with the wire here. Just pull it back a little bit to get your screw in place, and we'll unscrew that. Like that. And then this should come out and reveal the light. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our new light right here, H7. We're going to try not to touch the bulb ever. And we're going to take this one and we're going to look at it and see that it basically slides in like this. So we just edge it out. Take note of the position. So you notice the flat end is up here. So we want to do the same thing with this one. And we want to put the flat end up there. Push it in and then put it back. That's simple. And then what we're going to do is put those screws back in. So what I think I'll do is use my magnet just to get it started in the hole. There we go. And then I will use my screw. Screw it down. So I'm going to just put it hand tight so I don't strip that aluminum. Now I'm going to do it to the bottom one, same thing. So I'll turn this around so you can see it. Okay. So I'm going to undo that. Yeah. And I'm going to undo this. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this out, this headlight. So we're going to remember how it goes, right? So we pull this off. slowly, like that. So the flat end goes down here. So we'll take the same thing here and we'll put it in like this. And we try not to touch the bulb. Push it all the way in and then we put it back again. Like that. And then we're just going to put the 2 screws on, and this time we're just going to do it hand tight. So I'm going to use the magnet to get it in there. Like so. So this goes in here, and we can clean this up. So now I'm going to plug this plug back in, which goes right over here. And we snap it in. Just want to make sure it's in good. I didn't hear a snap, but I'm pretty sure it's in there because it's not coming out. Okay, and then we're just going to lift it up in its position and put the screws in. So here I'm going to put the first one in. And then I'll put this one in. Now, before we tighten it, we're going to have to calibrate it. So I'm just going to get it almost tightened. Enough so it can just move gently. And we'll just check if it works. So I'll just move the camera. Right. And we'll turn it on. And do we have a headlight? Yes. And do we have high beams? Yes. Okay, so now we're going to have to calibrate the light and put it in place. Okay, so my bike is 16.5 feet away from here. Okay, that's according to the, that's equivalent to 5 meters, right? And then I sat on the bike and I had my wife measure from the center of the light bulb down to the ground, which was 33.5 inches, which is here. And then according to this, the distance for the light cutoff will be 5 centimeters less. So I've got this white paper. So that means I'll start with the light shining here, and we should bring it up until the top of the light hits there and lock it in. It's that simple. Okay? So that's it. So let's have a look at what this looks like on here. We should be able to see the light as I move it up and down. Okay, so I'm sitting on the bike, and my wife is helping me. And you can see the white paper over there. I'm 16.5 feet away, so she raises the light, and you'll see how the light goes up and up and up until it hits the bottom of that paper. There. I will lock it in there. So tighten that so it doesn't move. Perfect. Now all we have to do is torque those two nuts and we're all set. So we're just going to tighten these two to 19 Newton meters. There. And this one over here. There we are. We're done. Good to go. Okay, so here's the difference. I took a picture after and I took a picture before. And yeah, I'm staring at it. I zoomed it in, trust me. It seems like the extreme lights, if you look really closely at them, they're kind of a bit brighter. Maybe a tad whiter. Nothing that I guess you could say is like, wow, night and day difference. Probably brighter, probably get me a bit more distance on the road. But the most important thing is now I know how to change a light bulb, right? So now I know I need a T20 Torx, I need a T40. And also that little magnet holder would be a good thing to have. And then I may go on my bike and take a permanent ink and mark around that bolt, the setting adjustment that I just made, so that if I'm on the road and I have to change it, I can get it thereabouts. You know, it may not be perfect, but it won't be completely out of whack. So that's something interesting. So maybe I should have done that before I took it off. Made a little etching sign somewhere in that area so that I can line that headlight up to approximately where it should go. And then when I get home, I can calibrate it. And also when you get home or when you get to a garage, you'd want to tighten it to 19 Newton meters. So on the road, you wouldn't be able to do that unless, of course, you carry a torque wrench, which I don't. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. And now I got new lights. I got 2 extra. And I know how to change them. And I know what to put in my pannier in order to do that. And they do burn out. So on a road trip, you should know how to change your light bulbs. And you should be able to do it. Have a great day.